Welcome to Srimati LP Savani Vidya Bhavan, Social Science Standard 10th. Welcome to LP Savani Vidya Bhavan, Social Science, Chapter number 17, Economic Challenges, Poverty and Unemployment. This is the part 2 of our 17th chapter. In our first part, we learned what is poverty, what are the reasons of poverty, characteristics of poverty, and strategy for eradication of poverty. In this second part, we are going to further continue with the poverty alleviation program started by the government and the next topic, that is unemployment. Number 17, economic challenges, poverty and unemployment. This is the part 2 of chapter number 17. Here we are going to see the poverty alleviation programs. In order to make poverty alleviation programs successful, the rural and urban people living below poverty line should get direct financial benefit in various welfare schemes. Thus, the government has started many of these welfare schemes called as PAP, that is the poverty alleviation programs. The objective of starting various poverty alleviation programs is to create opportunity of employment for families living in poverty, to improve agriculture, rural upliftment, food security, to provide education to these people, develop skill through training, so that the economic condition of the people living in poverty can be improved, which will help in improving social security and can bring these people above the poverty line. So, present central and state government have implemented many welfare programs. These programs can be divided into 5 sections. First is wage-based programs, wage-based employment programs. Number 2, self-employment programs. 3, programs related to food security. 4, programs related to social safety. Number 5, programs of elimination of poverty in urban areas. This means that whatever schemes that we are going to see or understand in this topic are basically going to be dealing with these 5 topics. That is, the schemes which are started by the government are either wage-based employment programs or self-employment programs or programs for food security, social safety and reducing poverty. Okay. The first scheme that we are going to see over here under the poverty alleviation program is Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. You can see on the screen the first point, that is the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Krishi means irrigation and Sinchai means Sinchai means irrigation and Krishi means agriculture. So this scheme is related with providing irrigational facilities to the people engaged in agriculture. Thus, under National Agricultural Plan, it has been planned that there should be increase in the agricultural growth rate and the sectors related to agriculture. There should be improvement in the irrigational facilities also. Thus, irrigation facilities should reach every part of agricultural land. Drip irrigation should be followed, and along with that, the construction of small, big, medium-sized check dams should be carried out so that the water problems can be solved out. Thus, every field gets water. Such type of steps have to be taken so that the farmers are saved from the dangers of agriculture. Okay, so the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana has been concentrated on providing the irrigational facilities. Coming to the next point, that is Prime Minister Farm Safety Insurance Plan. Under this Farm Safety Insurance Plan, protection or help, the farmers are helped at the time of natural calamity by providing them economic support. Okay, when there is loss of crops due to any natural calamity like flood or drought, or for fire kind of things, then at that time the government provides economical help, financial help to the farmers. Along with that, the government has also started giving bonus at the purchase of cotton and concession if there is any loss. Kshati Mukt Krushi Bhav Panch. This is an association which has been formed to stabilize the prices. Third point, National Drinking Water Program. Under this National Drinking Water Program, providing water to every field, improving existing canal network to see that the soil erosion can be stopped, new tube wells for tribals, prevention of salinity in the water. These kind of programs have been implemented. Other than this, digging of ponds, watershed development, construction of tanks, conservation of rainwater, afforestation, repairing work, that is the lining, constructing lining of canal, planting trees and shrubs. These kind of activities have also been started in the rural areas, so that the people in the rural area get employment and the families, they come out of the vicious circle of poverty. State government has provided finance at low rate of interest from bank for kharif crops, cattle rearing, storing, fertilizer, and also have taken solid step for irrigation schemes of central government. Fine. In Gujarat, since the last 10 years, the government has been organizing poverty welfare fair for helping farmers to become self-reliant. Thus, next point, reward scheme. In the old textbook, it is written, the last point is been given as reward scheme. In the new textbook, it is the same thing. It is under the topic of Enam scheme. So, Enam scheme. Under this program, agriculture market has been set up for the farmers. This is on, we can say, online buying and selling, trading of agricultural products. It has been facilitated. Okay, so that platform has been provided to the farmers, wherein the farmer can list up his products, and online trader will also be able to bid his prices. So there will be a direct trading between the farmer and the trader. Okay, thus the objective behind this plan is to save farmers from the loss faced by them due to mediators and brokers. Right here, the brokers will not be there, so the farmers will have more remuneration and earn more economic profit due to competition. So whatever we saw in the previous slide, that was Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, Prime Minister Farm Safety Insurance Plan, National Drinking Water Program, Reward Scheme. These four topics are the first point, or the first poverty alleviation program. The poverty alleviation, the second poverty alleviation program that we are going to study is from Gramodaya to Bharatudaya. Through such programs, farmer-oriented plans have been made to prevent loss faced by the farmers due to wild animals damaging the crops by providing them economic help to build fencing to protect the crops. Right? Now when wild animals or cattle, they enter the fields, they destroy the crops. To stop this, the farmers need to make fencing around the field, and for that financial help, economical help is being provided to the farmers. Next, production of grass for cattle at the time of crisis or drought, and to help construct cattle shelters. Also, economic help is being provided. Rain forecasting is done, which is helpful for the farmers to know that what kind of rain will be there, and accordingly they can plan their crops. And discovering mineral rich regions through ultra modern satellite and drone techniques. With the help of satellites, it is regions which are rich in minerals can be classified, and this information will be helpful for the farmers, because on the basis of that, again they can understand or make out what kind of crops are favorable in that soil. Okay, next, provision is made to maintain record of land survey. Availability of finance at a low rate for mechanization of farming. Mechanization of farming means if the financial help is given to the farmers to buy tractors, mini tractors, and any other equipments related to agriculture. Okay, thus every step is being taken in the direction to see that there is an improvement in the rural areas, means rural upliftment is being targeted. Okay, thus we can say from Gramoday to Bharatoday, central as well as state governments have tried to save farmers from debt by helping them through this scheme. Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana, the third PAP. Under this plan, efforts to supply electricity to rural areas without any hindrance, that is 24/7, day and night, has been decided. Providing electricity at homes and farms at concessional rates, to lay down new lines for the electricity, and to provide electricity facility to for 18,000 villages which do not have electricity. This is the work which is being done under the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana. It includes setting up of electricity substations also, and subsidy is also provided for obtaining electricity through solar energy and to purchase solar technical equipments. Number 4, Integral Dairy Development Scheme for tribal women for cattle rearing. This is the fourth point in the old textbook, whereas in the new textbooks which just now you are seeing on the screen, it is subsidy under the scheme Van Bandhu Kalyan Yojana for all round development of the Adivasis. Okay, here Adivasi women are provided with training and guidance for their livestock. Comprehensive Dairy Development Employment Scheme for the development of creeper crops in agriculture and population for constructing pavilions, that is the pandals, organic farming, grading and packaging, etc. Samras hostels and samarth ashrams are also established. These all development programs have been started for the upliftment of the Adivasis, the tribals especially, so that they can utilize their what we say, cattle stock, right? And they can yes, I'll just continue with the fourth point, that is the Van Bandhu Kalyan Yojana, wherein Adivasi women are provided with the training and guidance for the livestock rearing under Comprehensive Dairy Development Program, whereas employment schemes have been started related to creeper crops in agriculture and plantation, for constructing pavilions, pandals, organic farming. This type of training is given to these people, particularly in the tribal peoples, the Adivasis, right? So that they can get themselves employed with any kind of activities mentioned here and increase their livelihood and improve their lifestyle. Samras hostels and smart ashrams are also established for their training. Number 5, encouragement to organic farming. In this, helping the farmers in registration, paying fees, help in purchasing the farm products, arrangement of training and education of farmers, finance at low rate, setting up proper market, etc. kind of guidance is being provided to the farmers, along with the environment protection and reduction in expenditure in agriculture sector. These are the major objectives of this scheme. Number 6, Chief Minister's Village Road Scheme. Under this, planning is done related to the roads. Village panchayats were helped to connect villages with one another through roads and highways. Under this program, at present, we can see that the road network has been developed very well, and each and every village has been connected to with the main roads and the highways, right? So that is being done under the Chief Minister Village Road Scheme. Under this, the construction of toilets also has been implemented. Next, 7th Poverty Alleviation Program, Ma Annapurna Yojana. Under the Ma Annapurna Yojana, the people living in poverty line in cities and villages are given 35 kg of food grains per family every month by Gujarat government. Okay, which is provided free of cost to them, whereas the poor people of middle class are given 5 kg food grains at low rate, in which wheat is given at the cost of rupees 2 per kg, rice rupees 3 per kg at fair price shops. 3.62 crore people are covered under this scheme. They get the benefit of food security. Okay, coming to the next topic, that is Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana. The objective behind this is that every member of parliament is supposed to adopt a village and he has to work behind improving the education, health, employment facilities in the village adopted by them in their constituency. This is to stop the migration of the people from the villages to the city areas. Okay, so this is called as Sansad Gram Yojana. Ninth, Poverty Alleviation Program. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. This is in short called as Manrega. Manrega is an employment oriented program. Objective of Manrega is to enhance livelihood for families or adults living in rural areas of the state who can do physical labor though unskilled. Okay, the people who are poor but are fit enough, who can go and work, are able to do physical labor even though they are unskilled but are willing to work. These kind of people are given work. Okay, so for this purpose, one person from every family is guaranteed wage employment for at least 100 days in a financial year, 100 days wherein in per day 7 hours are counted as their working hours. Okay, so from every poor family in that under this scheme, one person will be employed for 100 days, that is 7 hours per day under the financial year. If the government fails to provide employment, then as per the rule the government has to pay unemployment allowance. Okay, in case if the government fails to provide 100 days employment, then also the remuneration or this unemployment allowance is to be given to these people. These people are being employed in the work like development of villages, construction of personal toilets, personal wells, leveling the land plane, horticulture, labor work in Indira Awas Yojana, cattle shed, making organic manure. These kind of work these people are employed into. Thus, the government tries to improve the living standard of poor people under this program. Next is Mission Mangalam, 10th point. State government has united the women from the families which are living below poverty line in Sakhi Mandal or self-helping groups, wherein they are given skill-based training through which they can generate self-employment. Okay, and they can come out of the vicious circle of poverty by preparing papad, pickle, agarbatti, etc. 11th PAP, Dattopant Thegdi Vyaj Sahay Yojana. Through this scheme, the government provides loan to artisans of handicraft and handloom cottage industries. Means the artists of handicraft and handloom industries are getting the are able to get the loan at a low rate of interest to purchase raw material. So this facility is available for purchasing of raw material by the artisans of handicraft and handloom industries. Okay, number 12, Jyoti Gram Udyog Vikas Yojana. This scheme provides self-employment opportunities to the unemployed in the rural areas to increase income and set up industry by giving them economic help and subsidy for establishing industrial plant, implements, electricity, land, etc. This means that the people who are interested in getting themselves self-employed, means the unemployed people, if they are interested in setting up of some kind of small industrial plant or they want to buy some implements and related uh, things or electricity, land, etc., then that for that financial help is being provided with the new idea. Under this is being done under the idea of Startup India. Okay, government also provides training, free electricity, land and economic help to the unemployed youth who are interested in setting up industry. Number 13, the last PAP, that is Bajpai by Bankable Yojana. Under the program, urban and rural unemployed of age group of between 18 to 65, people who are unemployed between the age group of 18 to 65, who are educated till 4th standard, minimum till 4th standard, they are given training so that they may they may set up industry or carry a traditional craft. They are also given finance of fixed amount so that they may generate self-employment. Thus, agro-based policy, under the agro-based policy, business policy of 2016, state government has implemented a plan to provide employment to 10 lakh people by setting up agro food processing unit along with the helping in export of processed food so that the poverty may be reduced. Now we will see the next topic, that is unemployment. What is unemployment? Now, among current problems of India, problem of unemployment is very crucial. Poverty originates due to unemployment. It is a long-term problem and has got deep-rooted in our economy. Maximum countries of the world are facing the problem of unemployment. Thus, first we need to understand the meaning of unemployment. One who is adult, whose age is between 15 to 60 years, who is ready to work at the prevalent market rate of wages, has energy and qualification to work, who is in search of work but is not getting work, right? Such a person is said to be unemployed. Such type of condition in group is called as unemployment. So this is the definition of unemployment or meaning of unemployment. Next, if people who demand wages more than the prevalent market rate, means when the person is able to physically fit to work but is not ready to work because he wants more wages, who are not in age group of 15 to 60. The other people who are not falling into the age limit of 15 to 60, who are handicapped, people who are weak, sick or old, lazy, housewife, those who are not willing to work in spite of being capable, these people are not to be considered as unemployed. Okay, so again I will repeat over here that what is unemployment? One who is adult, whose age is between 15 to 16 years, who is ready to work at the prevailing market rate, has the energy and qualification to work, is in search of work but still he is not getting the work, then this kind of person is called as unemployed. And when a group of people are facing this situation, this condition, then that is called as unemployment. Okay, whereas who are not considered to be not considered as unemployed, the people who are not ready to work at the prevalent rate, are not falling into the age limit of 15 to 60, who are handicapped, weak, sick, these kind of people, in spite of being capable, housewife, lazy people, in spite of being capable, are not ready to work, then that kind of people are considered as unemployed. Now we will see the types of unemployment. First, seasonal unemployment. Due to lack of irrigational facilities, irregular rainfall, lack of alternative employment, the farmers, they are unemployed for 3 to 5 months in a year, right? Then this period of unemployment is called as seasonal unemployment. This can be seen in the different in other working areas, occupations also. Number 2, frictional unemployment. When new technology is introduced in place of old technology, the laborers remain unemployed for some time. Okay, it takes, when computers were introduced, there was a time gap wherein the people had to go and learn the computers so that they can use it. So that short period of time where they are unemployed because of introduction of new technologies, then that is called as frictional unemployment. Next, structural unemployment. Structural unemployment. Indian economy is backward and orthodox. Social backwardness, traditional orthodoxy, customs, illiteracy, and lack of structural facilities, these are responsible for structural unemployment. Next, fourth, disguised unemployment. Sometimes more than required number of people are employed in an occupation. Okay, not in an occupation, in a work. If more than required number of people are getting employed, even if at that time, even if few laborers are removed from work, no decrease is recorded in the total production. Means if we remove certain number of workers, it does not affect on our production. Okay, thus these extra laborers are said to be unemployed in a disguised way. Next, number 5, industrial unemployment. When industrial field is closed down for a short term or long term due to changes taking place in the industrial sector, such a situation is called as industrial unemployment. Educated unemployment. Number 6, if a person has obtained at least secondary education or degree and is unemployed, then he is called as educated unemployed. Reasons of unemployment. The main reasons responsible for unemployment in India are increase in population, theoretical knowledge, lack of practical knowledge, lack of technical knowledge and skill, failure in providing complete employment, irregularity in rainfall in agriculture, losing interest in agriculture sector, improper irrigation facilities, lack of alternative employment. These are all the reasons responsible for unemployment in our country. Along with this weak condition of cottage industries, household industries and small scale industries, caste system, joint family system, people forced to follow traditional business, lack of courage to set up new business, flaws in knowledge, skill, training and experience, immobility of labor, flaws in planning of labor, low growth rate of industrial development. These are all the reasons leading us towards unemployment. Next is, what are the efforts made by the government to reduce unemployment? That is, efforts to reduce unemployment. Here we will see that poverty and unemployment, these are the two sides of the same coin. Both are interrelated. Means if there is poverty, poverty leads to unemployment. If there is unemployment, it will lead to poverty. Thus, these both are interrelated. Main reason for poverty is unemployment. This challenging problem has affected educated youth. As a result, what happens? The youngsters, they have lost attitude of interest towards studies. Negative effect on social and mental condition is seen. They get disappointed psychologically. If they remain unemployed for a long time, what will happen? They will get involved in antisocial and immoral activities like drug trafficking, illegal activities, robberies, recovering ransom, etc. So, increase in social and economic inequality is seen. Class discrimination begins with fall in living standard. When price rise joins unemployment, the condition of the poor becomes more narrowing and pathetic. He turns towards narcotic drugs and other addictions. Thus, unemployment has proved to be deadly for individual, family as well as economy. The steps taken by the government to reduce unemployment is by aiming high. First, that is, you can see here on the screen, by aiming high goal, economic development of 10% per year, which is acceptable to all, has been aimed. New fields should be opened for fast and balanced economic development along with the development in agriculture sector. Small and household industries, cottage industries, etc. should be started. In order to increase employment, government has started giving economic help, education, and has opened training centers through different schemes. Next, these all schemes which has been started, we have already learned in the PAP. Number 2, government lays stress on development of units using labor intensive methods for production of consumer goods, small and cottage industries. Next, number 3, more number of people can be employed in rural area by less investment, by developing new method at the rural level in which more than one crop may be taken from the field in order to remove unemployment during the time when the farmers are not engaged in agriculture. Activities related to agriculture, poultry, fishery, cattle rearing, dairy industry, programs of afforestation should be carried out. Employment opportunities should be increased in villages. So migration towards cities may be reduced and pressure on demand of employment can be decreased. Next, in order to sustain steps towards removing unemployment, fourth point, in order to sustain human development in rural areas, health, education, pure drinking water, nutritious food, electricity, roads, banking, insurance, constructing permanent public property, adopting employment oriented programs, this kind of program should be undertaken. Qualitative life of rural people as well as the result oriented improvement has been the objective of this program. Number 5, in order to decrease educated unemployment and unemployment among the youth, skill should be developed and employment should be provided as per the qualification. Business oriented or technical education policy should be adopted. Curriculum of schools and colleges should be such that it satisfies the requirement of the local industries. Point number 6. Point number 6. Labor Ministry of Indian government and the state government have implemented ambitious programs like Make in India, Skill India and Digital India to enhance knowledge, understanding, enthusiasm and work capacity of the youth. Technical colleges and universities have been set up nationwide. They should provide education facility as per vocational curriculum and modern technology. Efforts are being made to fulfill requirement of employment through new curriculums in schools and colleges. At present, higher institutions like IIT and IIM are being established in most of the state of our country. Number 7, the government has opened new areas of employment. Previously, there were very limited areas for us, but at present, the area in which the person is interested, he has a future of development in his interested area. Lot of employment opportunity is there in computer technology, information technology, pharmaceuticals, business management, outsourcing, marketing, catering, event management, office management, share stock marketing. So many fields are available. Accordingly, the curriculum of education, training and teaching has been changed so that it may fulfill requirement of job in future. So that as per local requirement, supply of labor could be made for generating employment, and in place of white collar jobs, self-employment should be fostered with government's economic help. Number 8. In order to promote opportunities of self-employment, the government has started many plans for providing financial help at low rate of interest for small investments, along with the help for selling produced goods. With the efforts of banks, economical help of financial institutes, economical easy loan facility, local business and welfare organization, women have been provided self-employment by setting up household industries. Ninth, employment exchange centers work as chain between the unemployed and the owners who are in search of such youth who are looking for employment. This organization provides authentic information regarding registration of educated unemployed. It gives guidance in choosing one's own career. These centers provide sufficient information through magazines like Rozgar Karkirdi. It provides free services through Model Career Center and helpline numbers 1800-425-1514. This is the helpline number, toll-free number, which will be helpful for the people in search of job. Till 2015, there were 947 unemployment exchange centers in our country, in which till 2012 468.23 lakh unemployed have registered themselves. In Gujarat 8.30 lakh unemployed had registered with their names. Okay, so next topic that we are going to see here is the world labor market. When exchange of labor is there among two nations of the world, this is called as world labor market. When laborers migrate from one country to another for employment, for doing business or getting training or higher education, it is called as movement of labor at international level. When any person from our country goes to another country for these reasons, or that is called as movement of labor at an international level. With this, what happens? Workout of brain power or educational knowledge, higher technical knowledge and skill development in search of more income, more facility, better job is the brain drain or migration at an international level. When educated people particularly leave the country in search of good job or better education or this kind of things, then in actual sense we are losing our intelligent brains. They are moving out of our country. This is called as the brain drain situation, right? People leave the country in search of, because either they are attracted to higher salaries, better future, better status. These are the reasons for which the people leave their country.